All right, in this video, going to look inside this engine, see what we got going on, pull the valve covers off, pull the oil pan, and take a look inside there. After I do that, I'm going to change out the timing chains as well as hopefully delete the counterbalance shaft that's on the bottom. Maybe free up a little bit of horsepower, give us a little bit of extra oil pressure for this engine to live as long as we can. Hopefully we can get to live 24 hours. But before I take the valve covers off of here to see what's going up top, there is a bunch of stuff inside the valley. I want to make sure that nothing is going to fall inside once I pull these valve covers off. So first thing I'm going to do is vacuum and clean up a little bit before I pull these valve covers off. All right, time to get these valve covers off of here. We'll see how much of this fuel line I'm gonna have to take off to be able to get this side off. This side probably gonna be a little bit of a pain. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Get the valve covers off of here. Let's see what we're working with here. Looks like the back definitely need to replace. This looks like the actual metal part's broken. I see no plastic. I'm sorry, this is the front. The front's definitely bad. Let's take a look at the back. Cam lobes look okay. I don't see anything jumping out at me. The back, yeah, this is definitely, that's completely fallen off the pivot here. So the back is bad as well. There's no, yeah, this thing had to come out. I mean, it's a good sign if the front's all messed up that the back's going to be messed up too. So I'll be really surprised if there's not a lot of chunks inside the oil pan. And hopefully the bearings on this thing are good. I mean, inside here looks pretty good. I don't see, like, if I look at the oil that's down in there, I don't see a whole lot of, you know, anything even sparkling down there. So I think it's pretty good. So before I get into the cams, before I do the back cam, I'm gonna raise this engine up, pull the oil pan off, take a look inside the oil pan. We're gonna do the lower oil pan and the upper oil pan. Part of that is because one of the special tools to get this thing in top dead center hits the block right where the pan is. I'll show you that in a second, but first I gotta get this engine up high enough. All right, so now I'm underneath here. You see the oil pan's made up to two separate pieces here. We got the lower oil pan and we got the upper oil pan. We're gonna take this upper one off as well, but first we're gonna take this lower one off. I got my drip can down here just in case. I'm sure some oil is gonna come out of this thing just the way it's kind of oriented, but let's see. All right, I'm gonna leave the one in the very back on there and the one in the very front on there and just see if I can't pry this thing off of here a little bit, and then hopefully it won't make a huge mess. I don't see anything really huge inside the oil here. I don't see any like flakes of anything, so I mean that's good. Alright, I'm really surprised that these are the only pieces down inside here. A nice chunky metal thing. But what's good is that I don't see a bunch of here's smaller pieces. You can see some of it's got like some, you know, that's the metal stuff right there. That's the small metal glittery stuff. That's not good. Hopefully a lot of that got picked up by the filter and didn't make its way into the bearings. It does look like there's some stuff wedged up here in the pickup tube. You want to make sure you get that stuff out of there. Alright, so this is pretty cool design here that Ford did. Being sarcastic, of course. These back two, at least I think there's two on the back. It's a T30 Torx bit, but at least they give you at least they give you a little space to kind of put your extension through there. There's one more, I believe there's one more on this side, and to get to it I'm gonna have to pull this spacer plate off of here. So see if I can't get to that. I always like to try and get the hardest pieces first, so I'm gonna try and get this one over here first, and then the rest are just 10 mils, will come out pretty easy. Okay, so here's what we got going on here. There's a T30 Torx bit right here, and Ford gave a little bit of a cutout to go up in there to get on it, but my tools not really biting too well. I don't know if I really want to put too much torque on that. Let's see. I might give it a shot and see. No, there's no way. So that's not going to work. So what I did was, sometimes with these Torx bits, you can take a regular Allen and get enough of a bite to loosen them up. So this is a 4 mil. That feels like it might, it's pretty tight on there. So I'm going to slowly turn this thing, see if I can't get it to break loose. Spray a little bit of PB Blaster on there, maybe that'll help some. Well, I'm either getting it out or I'm stripping it. Yes. Either PB Blaster or luck is on my side. I got that sucker out. That thing is on there. Now go ahead and get the rest of these off of here. Alright, I got all of them out. I got the one nut holding it up here and one bolt holding it back here. I got the Torx bit out of there, so basically just left a couple in there to kind of help hold it in place while I try to get it to knock loose. Alright, so it's always a good idea not to pry super hard on stuff. I noticed this thing wasn't even budging. And I look underneath there and I got these bolts right here, these big bolts that look like they're also holding this upper oil pan on there. So I'm going to take those down, but I'm going to take off this oil pickup tube first, which would be good because I'll be able to clean that out real good. Oil pickup tube, and then these, looks like there's 6 of them, and then hopefully that upper oil pan will come off. Alright, now that I made a huge mess, let's see if this pan will come down now. Alright, so now with the upper oil pan down, you can see there's plenty more chunks up here, which is probably a good thing because it saved it from going down in the pan, getting into the pickup tube. Yeah, there's a bunch of little pieces up in here. Yeah, bunch of chunks in here. So get this all cleaned out and get ready to put the chains on there.